Hello there, my name's Jude and I'm the Director of Women's Health Action here. I'd like to take a couple of minutes just to talk with you about the Bowel Screening pilot program, which I've just taken part in. This is because I've just moved out to WHA, and being over 60, I was eligible to participate in what is a pilot scheme going on just at WHA. It's not available right across New Zealand yet. Hopefully it will be soon. And I was just thrilled to do it because I'm very aware that New Zealand is doing something about its bowel cancer rates and starting a screening program for it. It's important for New Zealand because we've got one of the highest rates of bowel cancer in the world, and really important that we pick up these bowel cancers early, because if we get them early, 75% of them are curable. So really important, because bowel cancer sucks up an enormous amount of our health dollars. I think as judged by the Department of Public Health in Otago, we spend about $130 million a year in New Zealand on bowel cancer. So if we can pick them up early, do something about them, it saves a whole lot of human agony and problem, and of course some health dollars. So what happened was, in the post I got a lovely package just like this, which invited me to participate in the bowel screening program, and in that you get a whole lot of really high quality information packs in a number of languages, which really in plain English spell out what the situation is and educate us all on it. And then they give you a kit which is great for just doing a one-off test. So what they ask you to do is to do a poo in the toilet, and you do it on top of a sort of tissuey, thick tissue. And then once you've got your poo down there, you get this little thing, which is a little wand. Can you see that? And it's you just go in the poo, and that's about the most detail you're going to get. And you just put it in there, done. It's not gross, it's not a problem to do it. And then they give you some little like bar tabs, which is your identification labels to go on that. And then that goes in a really nice envelope like this. Let me just show you. A nice thick brown envelope like that. It goes in a little packet like that, and in there, and in there. And that literally just goes into the post and gets posted off. It's really easy. Some people have found that a little bit culturally challenging to have poo samples going through the public post system and prefer to drop it off at places, and that is available, or will become more available as these screening programs get going. So I was very interested in the psychology of actually participating in a screening program, and like all screening programs, there is a psychological aspect that once you are in the program, it affects you. So although I've got no risk factors for bowel cancer, I don't have any genetic disposition, I don't have any bowel problems, I eat a diet high in vegetables and fruit, and I don't eat bacon and things that might exacerbate it, I exercise well, I am at a low risk of having bowel cancer, but I noticed I can't say worried, but I was certainly aware of waiting for the results, and I rang my GP, and they reassured me with a nice letter. Where is it? Somewhere here. A letter came in the post to say that I had a negative result, that I was at low risk of having bowel cancer, and that was marvellous. And when I rang my GP, I said, can you give me the number of my result? I wanted, because I know that New Zealand's got a cut-off level of 40 micrograms of hemoglobin per gram is our cut-off point as being positive or a negative for having potential bowel problems and needing further follow-up. So the GP couldn't tell me what my number was, and I just thought, well, you know, if I was 38 or 39, and the cut-off is 40, remember, I would never know. And I think personally, if I was 38 or 39 or somewhere up there, I would have liked to have known and perhaps made some lifestyle changes. So something to think about there. So this test I did a bit of reading about it, and it's interesting because they've got the cut-off rate, which is higher than most other countries. Ours is 40. In other countries, they have it lower. The World Journal of Gastroenterology suggests the appropriate cut-off level is 20 to 30. and ours is above that at 40. So that's interesting as well. And it could mean that some people are falsely reassured by a negative result, that they don't have it. The other thing that I read about was the age at which we are screening at. This screening program for Waitemata is for people over 60. In Australia, they screen for people over 50, and in Japan, they screen people over 40. So again, it could mean that New Zealand isn't picking up younger people. If you are worried about bowel cancer, then you should, if you have a family history or you have symptoms, you should definitely see your GP. If that's not the case, then you can go and buy one of these bowel screening Aotearoa packets from some chemists. And these are quite a little bit different in that the way they work is you do a poo into the water in the toilet, and then you get a brush like this, and poke it in there, get a bit of a sample of poo on it, and then it comes with this sort of clicky card thing. So this click card, you open it, that's clicked down, and then you rip it open and get a little bit of blotting paper there, and you put your poo sample there with your brush and close that down. The good thing is that a day or so later, when you do another poo, you've got another brush, this is a different brush, and you've got another sample to go here. So you do your other sample there and throw your brushes away. Put that in the packet that they give you and send that off, and it goes to Australia. If this comes back positive, there's no follow-up by any program, and you would have to take personal responsibility for following up with your GP. What is nice about this test is that you get 2 chances or 2 samples, and what can happen with bowel cancers is, or pre-cancerous situations is, they might bleed one day and not the other. So with this one, you get 2 possible chances of picking that up. So that's that. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts about your experiences with the bowel screening program. There's so much. It's a complicated, complex topic, and interesting for New Zealand to debate why we've got our cut-off rates and our age ranges and the screening tests that we have got going. And really, I think the other thing to sort of know about is that the gold standard for really knowing if someone's got bowel cancer or not is to do a colonoscopy, which is where you put a scope up someone's back passage and have a good look. And what a colonoscopy gives the practitioner a possibility of doing is they may see some polyps up there, which are like little grape things on stalks that waft and hang off the bowel wall. And while they're up there with their colonoscopy, with their scope, they can snip some of those off. And that may be preventative of them developing into cancerous growths and tumours. Anyway, most interested to hear your thoughts. Have some communication with us, because it's good to talk about these things, not always easy to talk about. And yeah, I look forward to your thoughts. Thanks for listening.